From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It is a dreary day out there, which kind of matches for a Monday in mid-Michigan, but we have had some rain lighten up, which is nice to see. Still pretty high humidity, hence the ponytail. 96% humidity, meaning a bad hair day for a lot of folks. Now, there's still a chance for some rain out there, but it's not doing a whole lot. The biggest area has now moved out, which means we can move forward in our forecast and look ahead to snow. It's mild now, but it's not going to be in a few days. We'll take a look at these temperature swings coming up as 6 News at Noon begins.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at Noon.
New at noon and just into our newsroom, a man in Altoona, Pennsylvania is being held for questioning right now in connection with the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. It is our top story at noon. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Megan Vaselli. Several news sources reporting this afternoon that the man being questioned has a similar gun as the one used in the assassination-style killing. Sources say the NYPD is sending detectives to Altoona, which is in central Pennsylvania, about 100 miles east of Pittsburgh. Of course, stay with 6 News on air, online, and through our free 6 News app as we work to follow this developing story. Michigan lawmakers now have less than 2 weeks before they adjourn for the year on December 19th. State Democrats now are working as fast as they can to pass certain pieces of legislation before Republicans take back the House next year. And this week, we expect them to push for a final vote on a set of bills that would expand voting access. The package of bills is known as the Michigan Voting Rights Act. It would expand voting access for people who don't speak English and people with disabilities. If signed into law, ballots would need to be provided in more languages, and curbside voting would be a required option for voters with disabilities. Supporters say the bills break down barriers, ensuring every citizen can vote. However, some local clerks in Michigan now are pushing back, arguing they simply don't have the resources to make these changes.
We have over 1,200 municipalities in the state of Michigan that are running elections. And a lot of those overnight are going to see the need to require additional language assistance. I mean, that cost is going to be exponential.
The state Senate passed this legislation back in September. It recently passed through the House Elections Committee and now awaits a vote in the full House. President-elect Donald Trump now back in the U.S. after a recent trip to France. He's already spelling out his plans for the country when he takes office 6 weeks from today. This includes mass deportations, which could sweep up immigrants legally in this country with their families. Nicole Killian is here for you now with the latest.
President-elect Donald Trump says border security will be top on his list following through on a campaign pledge.
Is it realistic to deport everyone who's here illegally?
You have no choice. First of all, they're costing us a fortune. But we're starting with the criminals, and we got to do it.
In his first post-election interview on NBC's Meet the Press, Trump said his mass deportation proposal could include families with mixed citizenship.
The only way you don't break up the family is you keep them together, and you have to send them all back.
But he's open to allowing dreamers, those who came to the U.S. as children, to stay. And he wants to end birthright citizenship through executive order.
Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people. But we have to end it.
The president-elect also vowed not to go after political rivals like President Joe Biden.
I'm really looking to make our country successful. Retribution will be through success.
But on day one, he says he'd pardon those who attacked the Capitol on January 6th and believes lawmakers who investigated it should be behind bars instead.
And Cheney was behind it, and so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
Cheney slammed Trump's idea as a continuation of his assault on the rule of law. The interview was part of a whirlwind weekend on the world stage, where Trump attended the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral, meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron, Prince William, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump said Zelensky is ready to make a deal and called for an immediate ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia.
Overnight, the president-elect named his personal attorney, Alina Habba, to serve as counselor to the president. He's also defending some of his controversial picks, like Tulsi Gabbard for Intel Director, Pete Hegseth for Defense, and Kash Patel for the FBI. They're expected on Capitol Hill this week. Nicole Killian, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Meanwhile, the deep division sparked especially by this year's presidential election now reflected in Merriam-Webster's word of the year. The word for the year for 2024 is polarization. We used it a lot, as did the general public, as voters cast their ballot and watched the race unfold. The word first originated as a scientific term in the 1800s.
It means division, but it's a very specific kind of division. Polarization really means separated. It means the extremes, which we identify as poles.
Merriam-Webster logs 100 million page views a month and says it chooses the word of the year based on data tracking a rise in search and usage. Michigan State Police now investigating a crash that killed a man and split the car in two. It happened just after 10 o'clock Friday night on St. Joseph Highway near Cochran Road in Eaton County. Troopers say the car drove off the road, hit a fence, then hit a tree. That's when the car split in half and the driver was thrown out. Investigators say he died at the scene. Right now they believe speed and alcohol were factors in the crash. Families throughout the mid-Michigan region are getting some holiday help. Starting today and running all week, the Salvation Army is holding its annual Toys for Tots giveaway. They are working with Marine volunteers to hand out toys and gift cards for food to families in need to help make the holidays a little brighter.
Today we are helping these families figure out where they're going, checking them into their appointments, and then helping them take their toys to their cars.
So it takes a lot of volunteers to make this happen, and I am still in dire need of volunteers on Tuesday from 2:30 to 7:30, and I could still use some volunteers on Thursday from 2:30 to 7:30 and Friday from 12:30 to 5:30.
The Salvation Army's Toys for Tots distribution week runs through Friday.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're seeing clouds and even some rain showers out on the QuadCam network, but the big thing for me is that the temperatures are in the 40s. It's the upper 40s at that, all tied at 48 degrees. It's a mild day by December standards, more than 10 degrees above normal, but it's still damp, and that's going to add a chill to the air. The heaviest rain is now in Canada. That's going to be their problem for the rest of the day. For us, we could just see a stray sprinkle or two, but mostly we're drying up. This is on the back end of the system that eventually will bring in cooler temperatures, and that's what we're already starting to see when you look to the northwest. We're at 48 degrees here in Lansing, seeing 41 in La Crosse, and then a darker blue shade in Minnesota. That's that next cold air mass that's gearing up to dive south. Before then, if you need to get outside and maybe hang up some holiday lights, today would be an okay day to do it now that the rain has come to an end. Considering we already have a 50-degree temperature there in Adrian, I'd say it's probably the warmest it's going to get. As we go through the rest of the day today, temperatures are going to level out right about where they are right now. That's with the chance for showers coming to an end here now that we're in the afternoon and continuing cloudy skies. Then tonight, mostly cloudy skies remain, but our temperatures do start to cool down a bit. 32 degrees, right around freezing, followed up tomorrow by highs that are only in the upper 30s. That 10-degree difference from today to tomorrow. Still could see a stray rain shower or snow shower, but the main chance for snow is going to hold off until this cold air mass moves in. That really gets here in earnest Wednesday and Thursday, and that's when we start to see lake effect snow. The precision cast shows you that when the cold air hits that warm lake water, well, it's going to blow inland. And depending on how strong the wind is, most of mid-Michigan will likely see snow. Wednesday's the best day for it. Thursday's looking like an okay chance as well. And then after that, it begins to dry up. Saturday, we have rain, we have snow trying to mix together, and all of it's just going to become a bit messy as warmer air tries to reclaim mid-Michigan. Now, our snowfall totals from the lake effect look to generally be around an inch in most spots. Could have locally higher totals closer to the lake right now, but it just depends on how the wind sets up. So we're going to keep an eye on it. We'll get you the information as we get it in, just trying to narrow down where the heaviest snow will be. Now, if you're wondering what day is the best day to get outside, the 6-day forecast doesn't have a lot of options. I'd say tomorrow, just plain old cloudy skies, 38 degrees, pretty normal for December. Friday might be a little bit better, seeing some sneaks of sunshine with mostly cloudy skies, but temperatures 25 degrees. Still, the coldest day is going to be Thursday at 18. Yeah, at a wind chill, it could feel like the single digits. And then Thursday night into Friday, 10 degrees. That's the morning temperature Friday, and you add in the wind, and that'll make it feel possibly closer to 0. If you happen to get up to the bus stop, maybe you're heading out to work, whatever it may be, Friday morning, it's not going to feel like what it feels like right now. In fact, it'll be about 40 degrees colder, feels like. Yay.
Yeah, that's insane to me that I can change that quickly.
Yeah.
I've lived here all 30 years of my life, and I'm surprised every single spring, summer, fall, winter.
Every time.
It's like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's a genuine roller coaster. You talk about weather whiplash. This is it.
Yeah. Buckle up. All right. Thanks, Katie. Well, 6 News wants to recognize remarkable women here in Mid-Michigan who make a difference not only for their families, but also the community as a whole. To make a submission, click on the Remarkable Women section of our website, WLNS.com, and tell us all about the remarkable woman in your life. We'll pick 4 women and profile them during Women's History Month in March. You have until December 20th to nominate someone.